Welcome to my page. This is what happens when you're on YouTube and Facebook and all the places. Anyways, my name is Sammy George. Welcome to my page. I teach natural looking makeup to women over 40. So I'll be 41 in 2 weeks. And if you are somebody who has some discoloration on your face, you're dealing with acne, redness, anything of that nature, you are in the right place. That is me. I never learned how to do makeup. I never had skin concerns. And then all of a sudden I had skin concerns and had to learn how to do makeup because I wanted to feel more confident in my skin. So I became a independent makeup artist with Seint Beauty, which is you are super simple, customized, one compact makeup. You can have as much or as little makeup as you like, and it all fits in this one palette that you will often find me using in my car after I drop my kids off, before I go into school to teach. I do car makeup all the time. That's how simple and easy and like travel friendly this is. No more big makeup bags. No more overabundance of products that you're not sure how they work. And if they work together, it's all right here. So if you are new to Seint, let me give you some quick details. We're going to do our makeup really fast and we're going to go because I have to go to my daughter's school. So like I said, I'm over 40. I had to learn how to do makeup, like really learn how to do makeup because I grew up using powder. It was great. I like to play with blushes and bronzers and eyeshadows and all of those sorts of things. But when it came to actually like getting coverage on discoloration, I was like, I don't even know what that means. What's discoloration on the face? What's uneven skin? What's rosacea? Happy to have that now. So I started dabbling in different things. I had 3 different subscription boxes, which were really fun, but really ineffective. If you got a good like foundation product or like BB cream, it was likely not the right color. So that is probably what started my massive obsession with lipsticks, lip glosses, lip plumpers, lip oils, all the things. I'm looking at them right now. There's like 200 over there. But it wasn't effective for figuring out what to do with maturing skin. So I have a lot of fine lines, wrinkles, discoloration, texture, and I started with some BB creams. Love me a good BB cream, but it's more of like a BB cream just evens out your skin tone and off you go, right? So it's like a cool summer makeup product. But when it comes to actually like getting coverage, the thing about using one shade, whether it's a BB cream, whether it's an all over foundation, or whether it's a powder, it only takes care of the one color in your skin that it matches. So like when I think about like matching my skin tone, if I'm ever at like Target or Ulta playing with products, like I'm looking for something like this because that's like the majority of like what my skin tone like naturally is. Well, the problem is it looks great here, but like it doesn't do anything here unless I use something really, really heavy. And that's just not my jam. I like natural looking makeup. I like my skin to look like skin. So when I found Seint, I got myself a color match. That's how this whole thing works. Like the beauty of it is it comes with an artist. That's me. I'm your makeup artist. So I match you to your ideal foundation shades. And as part of what I do, I help create a step-by-step makeup routine for you because everybody's use of makeup is different. So this would not be effective if I gave everybody the same thing, right? Like we all have different skin and our skin changes on the daily. Yours isn't gonna look like mine. Mine's not gonna look like yours. You get it. So I build you a customized makeup routine and it all comes in a free resource for you. And then when you decide like, all right, I'm in, I'm giving this a whirl, I'm there if you have questions, but I will also send you client-only tutorials, like how to set up your palette, and you can set it up any way that you like, but sometimes it's really helpful when you're looking at like multiple shades and you're like, what is that? I will send you a little video on how to set up your palette because I like to just set mine up in the order I'm going to use them. But you may not know because like you guys look, there's no names on the products. Now, they are on the back. This is how our tins come. And I will say I'm a sucker for anything that's like really pretty. And do you see like our palettes have like this embossing on them? Even the box they come in is beautiful. Like I wonder if I have a Seint box over here somewhere. I do not. But all of our tins are just like this and they are magnetized. So this is completely customized to you. So when I pick out your foundation shades, I will tell you what colors you need. And these are $16. So up front, you may be making an investment in a couple of different $16 tins, a brush, tools matter for sure, and then you will likely get your palette free or close to free because you earn product credit. But all you do is you pop them in. So you kind of get yourself set, and then as a color runs out, you just take it out and you replace that one color for $16. And like, you guys, this is my contour. This will, no joke, last me like 8 months to a year, and I do makeup tutorials for a living. It lasts forever. Some of my foundation shades are closer to 2 to 4 months, lip and cheeks, a year. Like, your makeup's gonna last a really, really long time. So like, for how beautiful it is and how effective, and like, this is minimal ingredient product, you guys. Like, you can put it against any other product on the market, look at their ingredient list, look at ours, and I can pretty much guarantee you that ours will be like half the size of theirs. All that is in here is what is needed. There is no fluff, there is no other stuff. Like, it is for somebody who is ingredients matter. Like, I just had a client who wanted to try Seint but was very nervous because she has very reactive skin. So I sent her what her color match would be and the ingredients that make it up. She took it to her dermatologist, and her dermatologist was like, yeah, you are fine to try that. So it's really like, I don't know, as you age, like, this kind of stuff matters a little bit more because my skin is more reactive, all the things. So these customized little tins, while small, this is highly pigmented product. So the opacity is really strong. You use the tiniest amount. That's why it looks like skin, because it's cream, so it glows. When people think cream, they think like cream moisturizer. It's just creamy. So like, it's not cream in the aspect of like cream that like drops, like comes down your skin because it's a lotion. It's just a cream, hydrating, like glowing finish to your skin. It doesn't have that drying effect of a liquid foundation. So if you've ever been using a liquid foundation and it starts to get into the crevices of your face and it kind of cracks, that's because those are water-based, and our face loses water throughout the day. So as the water evaporates from our skin and from our makeup, we lose that water and it just becomes pigment. With cream is an occlusive product. So this sits on your skin. If you ever listen and anybody's like, it melts into your skin like butter, that's what it looks like, but it is actually the formulation, the molecular formulation is too large to go into the pores of your skin. It sits on your skin. So it actually protects you. It's a skin barrier to like all that stuff, all the environmental stuff that's going on. But here's the other gem. Because it acts as a second skin, it holds your moisture in. It's not a water-based product, so the water does not evaporate. You have some natural transepidermal water loss through the day. That's just a natural part of like what happens. But with that being said, because it acts as a second skin, it holds your moisture in. And guess what? More moisture, less your wrinkles show because they're staying hydrated. And like, I'm sorry, but the less my wrinkles show, the better. That's just how I feel. So you will get any palette size you like. You will get palette credit. Palettes of these size will likely be free or next to free. And then you just replace your individual tins as they are needed. And here's the magic, okay? It's all one formulation. It's all cream. So it all goes together. You don't need to worry about like, well, if I put this over this, no, girl, you're good. It's all the same. It's all cream. So if you were to get color matched by me, I would recommend these two brushes. Blush and bronzer. This is going to be pretty much your entire face of makeup, plus lip and cheek, plus bronzer. And the detail brush. This is my ride or die for contour. Contour stresses people out sometimes. This is like no fail contour. And with this small end, I can apply into these little crevice, small areas. So our brushes are double-ended. They will last you forever. Like if you see, even the colors are different because this is my original brush from 3 years ago when Seint Makeup was called Mascara Beauty. So like when they changed the branding, they changed the brushes. These are the new ones. This brush is going to last me forever, so I haven't invested in a new one. Like they literally last forever. If you want to use one brush, if you're like, all right, I'm in, I just want to start with one brush, blush and bronzer brush. This is the one you want to pick. It'll be in your color match. You can always upgrade to a second brush, but remember they're double-ended. So the cost of this brush is no different than the cost of a brush at MAC or any IT Cosmetics or anything like that, except you're getting two sides for basically the same cost, if not a little bit less. So these are the two tools I will recommend. And the Ride or Die, this is the Perfector. I absolutely think it's a game changer for your makeup. I always do it. And when I don't like the look as much. I will tell you, this is the product that you want to get, even though it's not a fun purchase to make. It's not the same as any other beauty blender on the market. You'll be able to tell once you feel the density of it that it is different because it's not meant for applying liquid. It is meant for removing cream. And removing excess cream is what allows us to get good coverage but not look cakey or tacky or any of the things. So for today, I will grab these two brushes and let's whip through what we do. So you'll see you have a couple different highlights in your tin. Our foundation is called highlights. So the ones that look like skin tone, those are called highlights on the website. I can always build your cart for you. If you're like, I'm on your website, I don't know what's going on because I'm not used to the names, just let me know and I'll build your cart for you. And when anybody builds a cart for you, you can take product in or out. So if you're like, build me an eyeshadow look, and I do, and you're like, oh, I like those two, but not those two, take out what you don't like, add what you do. All customized to you, including your lip and cheeks, contours, all the things. So what I start with is color correction. So anywhere on my face that you see this discoloration, which I have in the mask area, and when I say less is more, less is more. One small tap at a time, buffing motion, get this under the eye hair. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna match the darkest points of our face. This color is darker than my skin tone because if we match the darkest points of our skin first, then that color is not gonna peek through later. And that's unfortunately what happens unless you're using a super full coverage product. Your color's gonna stop, it's gonna peek through. Like that's why powder doesn't work for me anymore. While it might match some of the color on my face, it definitely doesn't match all of it. So when you get your color match from me, your face will be marked in blue. There's a color match link in my bio, but you guys can just say color match and I'll reach out to you and send it to you. It will send you to a form where you tell me how you like to apply your makeup. It'll ask for a makeup-free selfie, which is the most critical part. I virtually match 99% of my customers. It's super easy as long as you send me a good photo. And if you don't send me a good photo, I'll ask for another one. But a good photo is simply indoors, facing a window with no overhead light on. So like right now, I'm facing a window. If I put an overhead light on, it starts to cast shadows and we don't want that. And we don't want any makeup, so I can see the different tones of your skin. You just snap that makeup-free selfie and we are good to go. So I put a little bit of color corrector on my redness. Your face will be marked in blue where you need your color corrector. I am gonna go to the small end of that brush and I'm gonna build up coverage or get into these little creasy, smaller areas. Same color corrector. Now I'm taking care of the darkness under my eyes. And I'm just using these small little circular motions. I have a sunspot here, so I'm just gonna press a little more on. And this is how we customize your makeup, get you good coverage. So if you have minimal discoloration on your face, it's gonna be like 2 seconds. I'm gonna tap this onto my acne scarring, into this rosacea here. So I wanna get good coverage on it. But I'm still being really light-handed, like one little tap at a time, dispersing this until I like the coverage. And I could be really specific and go in with a small brush and pinpoint this scarring, but it's cool. I still want my skin to look like skin. It's gonna have some color on it. It's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. But you could do this. See how that just kind of rids that scar on my nose? And you'll see the difference between adding a little bit of color corrector to those areas of darkness, that additional redness right here, like it's visibly, hopefully showing on your end as well. Because all I know is what I see on the camera is quite a bit of discoloration in my skin. So I'm just pressing a little bit more on. And I like to use the small end of the detail brush because I just have a little more control. And then scarring. For me, the darkest points in my face are the scarring that I have around these broken capillaries. My chin is dark. A little bit of sunspots here. And this these areas of rosacea right there. Okay, there we go. Number 1, done. Going right back to that original brush. Now, I'm gonna use this shade right here. It's closer. It's like my actual skin tone. So you'll see, this is not my skin tone, but this is my color corrector. We color correct with a darker shade. Trust me, that's the magic of it all. Then, one little tap at a time. And now I'm just gonna press. This is just like regular foundation. So where would I put my regular foundation is where this is gonna go. And it does go on top of your color corrector. The combination of your color corrector and your main shade is what matches your neck, because our color corrector brings us back to our natural skin tone, but a little bit warmer. And we don't wanna look yellow. So that's why I'm using this neutral shade. And I'm just tapping this. And off we go. So for me, my foundation would naturally pretty much go all over. But I'm doing super light layers. You never want to sweep your brush. It's going to pick up so much product. It's going to be chunky, and then it's going to look chunky and kind of wild on the face. Number one mistake people make when they use this makeup, number one mistake I made, you use too much. It's just how we're used to applying makeup. We're used to putting, if you use a liquid or a BB cream, you put it in your hand, you drip it on your face, and you like smear it all around. You do not need that much. Okay, I'm gonna leave this area of my forehead without any foundation on it. Why? Because our highlights and our contour are gonna give coverage. I don't have any discoloration on my forehead. Everything pretty much matches. So now we're gonna contour. This is why it's called, maybe a little bit of redness here still on the chin. This is why it's called three-dimensional foundation, because we honor our face for what it naturally looks like. Our face naturally doesn't look like one flat color all over. So we just use color where it's needed. And what I needed was a little bit of coverage on my discoloration, evening out my skin tone with my foundation shade. And now I'm contouring. You start at the back here and you bring it down to the outer corner of your eye. So I'm at the top of my ear. I am hugging my cheekbone, and now I'm going to flick up. A lot of people are scared by contour. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Things I would recommend, get your color corrector, get your main shade. If you don't want to contour, definitely get yourself a bronzer and some lip and cheek, and then you can add things as you go, a brightening shade, which I'll show you here in a second. But see how that just kind of frames the face? Like, look, we have a little bit more of a chiseled cheekbone, but it still looks really natural. And this is going to die down. Like the makeup, like when they say it starts to like melt into the skin, well, it doesn't melt into the skin like we talked about. The warmth of your skin like does magic for it. All of your colors are going to start to like just melt together beautifully. And this is going to diffuse down. So it's not going to be even this dark in a couple minutes. But first I'm going to do my cheekbone and I'm flicking up. The purpose of contour is to lift and frame the face. We have natural shadows. That's why contour is cooler. Contour is meant to really just mimic the natural shadows on our face so that we still look like a regular, normal human who has shadow on the face. You have shadow naturally under your cheekbone. Some of us, myself included, have it around the forehead. If you don't, and you don't want to put contour around the forehead, you don't have to. It's totally up to you. I have a large forehead, so think about it this way. Three-dimensional foundation plays the game of light and dark. So darkness makes the face recede. Shadow makes the face look sculpted. This is my contour, and slimmer. So where do I want things to recede? Well, my forehead's a little big, so I'd like that to look a little smaller. I want my cheekbones to be a little more taut. So on my cheekbones, and then underneath the jawline, because as you start to age and you get these gels, it's always nice just to hide them a little bit. Pull it down the neck. We don't want anything to be harsh. Now we've chiseled out our forehead, our jawline, our cheekbones in a really natural way. I'm gonna do my nose. So I'm gonna tap onto my finger, I'm gonna rub it together. I'm holding my fingers together because I'm gonna go on the top of the bridge of my nose, okay? If you go on the outside, like see I just did that. If you go out here, your nose will look wider. So if your nose is slim and you want it wider, go here. If your nose is wider and you want it slimmer, just do what I did. And now I'm just gonna feather this up here, into my eyebrows, tap this a little bit, and don't worry, we will blend it. I'm gonna go underneath the nostril, and this will just help my nose look a little bit slimmer. It'll be real natural looking. Now I'm putting a little bit of contour under my lip, just to define that a little bit. So what's left? In 3D foundation world, we color corrected, we did our main shade, we added a little contour. Now we're gonna brighten. Brightening is just what you're used to calling concealer. And remember, if we're playing the game of light and dark, if dark recedes, if it makes things pull back and look smaller, brightness comes forward. And the purpose of that is that light around here in this little heart shape means when people look at you, they're drawn to the lighter, brighter area of your face. So we brighten a little bit down the nose in between those contour lines, a little bit on the outside of the contour line, because a nose contour, you can see it just from there. The actual slimming effect comes when you hug that nose contour line with your brightener. And I'm just using a very subtle brightening color because I don't want like a ton. You can definitely glam it up if you like. And I'm going to the inner corner and the outer corner because I'm going to create some brightness underneath my eye the same way you would with a concealer, but I'm using the lightest amount because I have a lot of texture under my eyes, so I don't want a lot underneath my eyes. If you see people applying their brightener directly under their eyes without color correcting, it's probably going to look good for about 2 hours. After 2 hours, your darkness is going to start to pop through, and it's going to be sitting in your fine lines and wrinkles. With this method, if we color correct first and just use a little bit of brightener, you'll get all day coverage on your dark circles. We'll remove any excess with our perfector, and you will have very little product under the eye versus a whole bunch that kind of breaks up over time. If you don't want to brighten, you can skip it altogether. If you don't brighten, don't nose contour. Your nose contour will look funny if it's just 2 contour lines. Unless you just want to use your main foundation shade, you could try that. All right, so we brighten there. Let's put a little bit here on the Cupid's bow, in the center of the chin, and your color match, guys, will break all this down step by step for you. All right, so right now, looks a little bit like makeup, looks a little heavy. That's where the magic of the perfector comes in. This is what is gonna make sure all of your lines are blended. If you feel like your contour is harsher than you want it to be, just press on it. It'll help diffuse it out. And what you do is when you get your perfector sponge, before you do your makeup, you run this under cold water, squeeze it out so that there is no liquid coming out of this at all, but it is damp. So I let it sit here while I get my makeup on, while I did my eyes, and now it's drying down. So it's cool and it's damp, but it's not wet. That is the magic of the perfector. All right, so now let's go on these contour lines, make sure they're really subtle. And now, anywhere that I'm prone to creasing, I have strong marionette lines. I like to say it's from smiling. It might be from stress. I'm a lip chewer. So when I get nervous or stressed, I chew the inside. I'm a gum chewer. I chew the inside of my gums. And now, absolutely, and why did I say that? Because this is what happens. So my marionette lines are drastic. Okay, so now, under the eye. Anywhere that you have layered makeup, you need to perfect because you need to get off any excess. See how some excess is coming off? You need to get that excess off. If you don't, it's gonna end up sitting. See the difference there? So I have this one little crease here. It's gonna be there no matter what. But you see how I still have a little bit of emphasis of creasing, emphasis of makeup on my creases there? That's just because I have a little bit of excess product. Keep rotating your sponge so that it's always cool. And there we go. Okay. I poked myself in the eyeball. All right. Is there anywhere else that we need additional coverage? So I removed any of the excess, and I feel like maybe I pulled just a tinge off of my sunspot. I don't know if that shows up really good on camera, but I was going to tap my main shade and tap that little bit on there. You guys, because cream makeup doesn't dry down, meaning it's always blendable, I could come back like 8 hours later after work and touch up my makeup without ever having to restart because it'll still be like that creamy formulation. So I could put on more, I could add some lip and cheek, and it'll just blend really well. So let's talk about lip and cheek. Today, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of Spellbound, 2 fingers out from the nose, and I smile. I come to the outside apple of my cheek, and then I hug my contour line. And this totally is dual purpose. So you can add this to your lips. I'm kind of going to do a nude lip today because I did do a bolder eye over on Facebook earlier. And I like to do, if I'm going to do a bolder eye, I tend not to also do a bold lip, but that's just me. So I'm just going up my contour line so that everything kisses really nice. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of bronzer. I'm a bronzer girl. This is where I use the fluffy end of my brush. Your bronzer is the creamiest product in your tin, so you don't even need to swirl it that much. And all I'm doing is going to the high points of my face, where my face sticks out, also where you would naturally get a sunburn. Go across the nose if you want. And you can do your bronzer first and then do your lip and cheek. It's totally up to you. All right, there we go. So that's our 3D foundation. I think I'm going to add a little bit of an illuminator. Illuminator is like what you're used to hearing called like a highlighter in traditional makeup land. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my perfector and go to the top high point of my cheek and see how that just gives it a little bit of glow. Spellbound is a matte shade, so it doesn't have a lot of glow to it. So I just wanna amp up that cheekbone in the smallest way. The other place that you can put it that's super fun is right here to define your lip a little more. And if you like, you can put a little bit down the nose and make sure that contour line. And there we go. Super simple. It's all right here. Now I'm going to do a quick lip. I am going to grab, you could totally use your contour or suede lip liner, which fits in your palette. But I want to try this lip liner that I want to use this lip liner from Lawless. I'm going around the lip till I get to the corner, and then I'm going in. Our lips naturally turn down as we age, and I don't want my lips to look like this. So top liner here, in. I'm going to put a little bit in the corners. Okay, so now we've kind of created a pout just with our lip liner, and I'm just going to go back into my palette. This is our shade Tiny Dancer. I'm loving this. Mixed with this lip liner for a nude that has just a little bit of like a mauve tinge to it. This is a satin shade. I'm gonna tap it onto that lip liner so it's not, there's no like harsh lip liner line. If you like your lip liner defined, you don't have to do that. I just like mine to be there, but not like the focal point. Okay, Tiny Dancer is also a satin. For me, I have to have gloss on the lips. Satins drive me crazy, mattes drive me crazy, all day wear drives me crazy. I wear them all because I love I love any lip product, but I always put a gloss on top. And this is Sadie. And that's it. So I have more than you even need. You guys, I even have a whole nother layer here because I'm obsessed with our lip and cheeks. But you can start as small or as large as you want. It's totally up to you. And then on my third level, I keep my powders. I do have a setting powder, stuff that I used for my eyes. I have an eyeshadow cleaning tile, so like you can use one brush. This is what I use for my brows. Literally everything comes in one palette. If you're somebody who likes a more matte look, you can set your makeup. Okay, just tap into my setting powder and I can mattify any area that I'm naturally a little bit more glowy or anywhere that I'm prone to creasing. And this will help set the cream to keep creasing at bay, but also mattify anywhere that I'm naturally a little shinier. And I can still have like totally glowing, youthful, skin-like looking makeup and just keep certain areas a little more matte. So that's it, you guys. That's Seint Makeup in a nutshell. If you guys ever need a color match, there's a link in my bio, but you can simply say color match here, or you can direct message me, and I would love to work with you. We'll take all the guesswork out of it. It'll be super simple, and then you have me in your back pocket whenever you need me. Have a great day, guys.